All right, World Studies B students, welcome to day 6. Sorry about that. So you're going to start off with our do now, and it, do now today is just I want you to think about how our world has changed since global trade systems came into it. So I want you to think about what life was like beforehand. Think about if what you had only came from your country, didn't come from anywhere else in the world. This is what I mean by global trade systems. Think about our lives now. How have they been affected because worldwide trade is a thing? I'll give you a hint. Think about COVID. Where did COVID come from? Would that have happened if we had not had a worldwide trade system? I want you to try and list out 4 or 5 items in each. You can do this one in bullet points, that's great, but I want you to try and list these out. Really think about that. Once you've done that, I want you to watch this video and answer the question. This video is going to talk about the movements of plants, animals, and people, and it's going to explain really how things change during the Columbian Exchange. What things changed during the Columbian Exchange would be better. That is a hip use history video. I really quite like hip use history. Then we have this Columbian trade activity. This is going to be a large portion of what we're doing today. Sorry, this is not. This is the easy one. Apologize for that. So all you're going to do on this one is you're going to identify what came from where. So the Americas here are considered the New World, and Europe, Africa, Asia is considered the Old World. Then what you're going to do down here is you're just going to draw a line from the item to where it came from. So for example, I have oranges in the old world. So if I look up here, right here I have citrus fruit and it shows it coming from the old world to the new. So then I moved it into that box, but for you guys you can just draw a line. Okay, after you've completed that, then you're going to move on the Columbian Exchange reading. This is the big one that's going to take a good chunk of your time today. So you're going to read through these, and then after each portion of the reading, I have a question. So right here it says define the 3 words that were bolded above. So we have capitalism, commodification, and colonial mercantilism. If you can't figure these out through context clues, go ahead and use Google. Look them up online and then write down the definition. This is a great place to use a textbook definition. I know I kind of push away from those sometimes, but this is vocabulary, so it's fine to use them there. The rest of this packet the rest of these readings is very similar. You're just going to read through, answer the questions. There are a couple of vocabulary words. Again, for the vocabulary words, don't be afraid to look them up. I encourage that. After you've done that, I want you to do this China during the Columbian Exchange. This is very interesting because we generally don't talk about what life is like for people in Asia during this time. As historians, we have a tendency to focus on Europe and America. It's something that I'm trying to get around, and part of that is by showing you guys a different area. So these are guided notes. You fill these out off of these Google Slides. Gives you an idea of what China and Japan's explorations were like during this same time. After that, we have this exit ticket. And this is one of my favorite things to have you guys do. I always like to see how creative you guys are and what you can get out of these. The long and short of this is you're going to make me a 3-course meal, but you can only use one of these 2 tables. You can't use both. You can use any items on here. You can get creative, keeping in mind you don't have to use the exact item. If there's something you can make from them, then you can use that. For example, from Europe to Asia, I have lettuce and I have lemons. So for my appetizer, I could say, well, I'm going to use lettuce and lemons and maybe some olives if you like olives. I don't personally, but you might, to make a salad. Then you would move on and do the same thing for the main course of the meal. Well, what could I use in here to make a main course? I've always enjoyed what students come up with these. Most of the time, you guys come up with some really good stuff. Just remember to only use one. Okay, that should be it for the day. I hope you have a good day, and hopefully I will see you all tomorrow.